So today we find ourselves on the banks of the River Severn, near a village called Purton, P-U-R-T-O-N, which is just across there. There's a canal also, Somerset and Avon Canal, I presume. It runs along the other side of the Avon. And Purton, I suppose, is famous, is why I'm here. In the 1950s, they beached a load of ships along the riverbank, and as a reinforcement for certain areas. And further down there, and when we get to take some photographs, you'll see there are some beached steel hull, iron hull ships, which have been, I think, been infilled with concrete as well to reinforce the actual bank as well with the ship. And it's a really great place. It's so quiet today. And when I first arrived here, and yesterday as well, yesterday and this morning today, has been just wonderful. It's been, as you know, it's been raining for so long, and we've had a couple of days now where it's just been, it's been spring-like, and it's fantastic. And you don't have to, it's not been cold and it's not been wet. It's just glorious. So it's been a joy to get out and find some interesting places. And this is certainly an interesting place. I think it's going to yield some interesting results. Shooting on the Canon 5 DSR with the 17-40, I thought we'd look at some digital files for once, alongside the Bronica GS1. I've loaded some HP5 in the Bronica GS1. I thought we'd just have a look and see what they look like compared to each other, and might convert some of the 5DSR to black and white and see what that comparison looks like. Without further ado, let's go for a walk and see what shots we get from today, and then we'll get back in the studio and discuss the shots and have a look at some prints as well. I'm actually quite pleased the way the images came out on both cameras. The Bronica GS1 with the 50mm lens on it always performs fantastically well. So what we've got here is the Bronica GS1 with the 50mm lens, Ilford HP5, and the Ilford HP5 in this instance was out of date, way out of date. This was a pack of film which expired in 1994. So amazing, really. I did rate it, instead of rating it at 400 ISO, I rated it at, I think I rated it around sort of 250, 300 ISO, something like that, using the metered prism on the Bronica GS1. So this is as the Bronica GS1 metered it in effectively aperture priority mode, because the GS1 has got an aperture priority mode, put it on A. And it's quite remarkable, really, when you think this is a 32-year-old out-of-date film, devved in ID11 at 20 degrees C, and devved it at as if it was rated at 400 ISO, because obviously it loses its sensitivity over the years. Came out fantastically well. And then the 5DSR, love using this camera, 70 to 40 mil zoom lens on it. This is at 17 mil on the Canon 5DSR. And I wanted them to put them side by side because you can't tell the difference in quality. The film still performs fantastically well, and the 5DSR doesn't disappoint. Brilliant camera. And what I liked about the results from both cameras was the fact that the location in Purton allowed you to get close and very intimate with the structures, and you can utilize then the wide angle lenses to their full potential and getting really close. I couldn't get any further back from this particular image with the 17 mil. So, you know, I suppose it'd been even slightly more impressive if I had like a 15 mil or something even wider. But I think the result is still nice. And so you could get really close in with wide angle lenses on the structures and get the quite dynamic perspectives. I particularly liked on one of the on the slideshow. There's one image which where I'm on this structure, and the 17 mil on the 5DSR in really close, and you get the wood really poking out really sharp into the sky, and that works really well. And so I think what you can get from this location is that when you can get close to something and really involved with it, that's when the wide angle lenses can really come into their own and allow you to create some really interesting perspectives on stuff. So in terms of final resolution, nothing in it at all. Both perform fantastically well. You would never know which is film and which is digital on this particular example. And the Canon 5DSR images resolved beautifully well, especially conversion to black and white worked very, very well indeed. And I think when you think the value for money from this, so this, as I said to you before, the body I picked up for £467. This lens I picked up for £155. So, you know, sub £700 for just an incredible resolution, professional build quality, weather sealed, fantastic optics. I think, you know, picking up a 5DSR, if you're in the market and you've got, you sort of, as we are all squeezed for cash, this is a fantastic solution. And then on the medium format, again, go with the Bronica if you can pick up Bronicas, because Mamias and Hasselblads are incredibly high priced in the second-hand market because they have a certain cachet. I suppose, you know, young people. It's like you know, young people want them, and the Leica is the same. Where, as with the Bronica, they're so remarkably cheap. And the quality, as we've had in previous episodes, the Hasselblad is fantastic quality, but the 6.7 Bronica GS1 is its equal. And when you think you've got the Bronica ETRS-I, you can pick up a prism finder, the camera, and you're being economic on film as well, because you don't have to worry. You've got 16 exposures on a roll instead of 10 with the 6x7, but. So there's economy of scale there, and you can pick up a Bronica ETRS-I, really very reasonably, and you will have so much joy from it. It's wonderful. So really enjoyed going to this location in Purton, next to River Severn. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the slideshow. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think the location is interesting. So if you're ever in that area, it's well worth visiting. Get the camera, even get your iPhone out. If you're in the area and you're thinking, well, what have I got to shoot? The iPhone's perfect for it because you can get really tight on images, and with the iPhone's really massive wide angle you can do on it, you can get some pretty spectacular. You'd have no problem replicating any of these shots at all. It'd be very straightforward to do. So yeah, again, really enjoyed the location, enjoyed everything. The next episode, I'm going to do the video on my scanning setup. So I'm going to go through in detail how I set up my scanning system to scan 35mm and 2 1/4 negs and 5/4 negs. I use a Sony A7R5 for my commercial work. I use a Sony A7R5 to do the scans. So I'll set up with that, and I'll take you through the whole process with that. And so you can easily replicate it at home. And again, I'll go through some costings about what it costs to set these things up. Because obviously the most expensive part of any scanning setup is the camera, of course. So that'll be the next episode. And thanks for watching again. Thanks for all the subscribers, and thanks for the questions. Really appreciate the questions. And I had one comment on the previous episode, and he's very, very kindly mentioned that they enjoyed the photographs, which I really appreciate. Thank you. But I think they wanted me to expand a bit more on the technical side of stuff, possibly. So if you do reply, please tell me what you want to see, because I'll happily respond to that. And this is a collaborative space. This is, we're asking each other's questions. I'm asking you questions, you ask me questions, and often your comments lead me into different directions. So that's always great to have. So please do feel free to comment and suggest ideas. So, and as you can tell, I got a bit of a sore throat. So my apologies for my voice this week. But anyway, hopefully I'm sure I'll be better by next week. So thanks for watching. You take care. Please thumbs up if you want to, and subscribe is fantastic. And look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care. Cheerio.